Alright, so now we're all at the point where we finished doing product research. We got our AI pre-built store, or maybe you created one from scratch, and your pre-built store was made by buildyourstore.ai or directly from the AutoDS platform if you have AutoDS, which of course I highly recommend that you do. And of course, our Shopify store is connected to AutoDS so that we can enjoy seamless automation, all of which I will show later in this video. But for now, we have to do the super boring techie stuff so that our store can actually generate sales and there won't be any problems when our customers try to check out on our store. And of course, we need to also make sure that we get paid. So this is the part where we set up the Shopify store settings and configure everything to work smoothly. Okay, so let's jump right into it. And after that, we're going to have some fun. We're going to import products, we're going to market them, and we're going to make our sales and profits. So the first thing that we're going to set up in step number 3, number 1, is the SEO, the search engine optimization. We want to make sure that our website shows up nicely on Google and it has all the right information. So we've got the homepage title and the meta description. The location for this is under Online Store, Preferences, Social, Sharing, Image, and SEO. So let's go there together. This is your Shopify dashboard. We're going to go to Online Store, Preferences, and here we have it. And this is the same page where we toggled off the password for our store and open it up for the public. But the next section, as we can see here, is social, sharing, image, and SEO. So here we can add our store logo. So I do have the store logo that came with my store, but I also want to show you guys how to create new logos if you want to change the one that you have. So after we do that, I'll jump back here and I'll update the logo here as well. But for now, let's at least have a title and meta description. And so what happens after we fill all this in is when you share your website on social media platforms or anywhere else, it's going to show up with the icon, the title, and the meta description. And the title and meta description will also show up on Google. So when you search for something on Google, like booking online, then you have the title here, and this is the meta description. And if you're lucky, if your website's doing a really good job, Google is also going to add all kinds of categories and subtopics in your website directly from their search engine as well. Okay, so that's what we're setting up now. And if you don't want to think by yourself, this is why we have the power of artificial intelligence. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to head over to ChatGPT, and I have a prompt here inside the cheat sheet. So it says AI prompt because I don't know what AI you're using. You could be using Cloud or anything else. So write 5 homepage titles and meta descriptions for my Shopify store. The business name is Gadget Worlds. Of course, you're going to change that to your business name. Be professional, but add some humor. That's just the way I like it. Of course, you can change it to fit your style. So I'm just going to copy the prompt, go to ChatGPT and paste it right here. Of course, you can be using the free version of ChatGPT. There's no reason to pay for things that you do not need. And so here I've got 5 homepage titles that is generating for me at the moment. So the first is Gadget World's Smart Tech for Brilliant Humans. Meta description, shop the latest gadgets you didn't know you needed until now. At Gadget Worlds, we make smart tech fun, functional, and slightly addictive. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's keep going. Gadget Worlds, where gadgets go to shine and you get to brag. Let me just read the titles for now. Gadget Worlds, tech that'll impress your friends and maybe even your dog. That's kind of cool. Gadget World's everyday tech with a twist. I like that. It makes you think, what is that twist? Gadget Worlds, unleashing gadgets that actually make life easier. I don't like unleashing. We can always change those types of words, but AI tools use unleashing a lot. So you can really tell that it's made by AI. Okay, let's choose one. So I think I'm going to go with Gadget World's everyday tech with a twist. Why settle for boring when your gadgets can be brilliant? Shop unique tech finds that spark joy, convenience, and occasional jealousy. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's go with that. So I'm just going to copy, head back to my homepage title, paste it here so we can already see what it'll look like. And then the meta description, copy that and paste it right over here. Okay, so once again, we'll come back to the logo soon. And that is good enough for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on save. Okay, now let's continue. Number 2 is markets and store currency. And this is really important to configure because we want to be able to sell to all kinds of different markets. We don't only want to sell to one market. You can for a start, but at the end of the day, you're going to be working with suppliers that can ship internationally. And if you can ship worldwide, then you might as well enable that on your store. So you have your domestic audience, which in this case is the United States. because I created my store from a US location, but you can always change that. And I need to add additional markets. So if people from outside the US enter my website, I want them to be able to have the checkout option. And I also want them to see the currency in their local currency. So this is how we're going to do that. The location, as we can see in the cheat sheet, is under markets. So if you just head over to your Shopify dashboard, and on the left side, you can see markets right here. Okay, so we're going to click on that, and you can see that in my case, United States is active. And of course, they've got their USD currency. But I do want to create an international market as well, because I will be working with suppliers who can ship there. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on Create International Market. And then here you can include or exclude countries from the international market. And the way that Shopify has it set up right now is actually pretty good on its default setting. So anyway, I won't be able to ship to countries like Afghanistan, Albania, and places like that. There could be others that I might be able to, like Argentina, but since I'm not sure yet, I want to go for the countries that most likely will not have any problem. And I can already see from the default view that Shopify already ticked these in. So I've got Australia, Austria, Belgium, and as I continue to scroll, we've got Canada, which is fine. Okay, and we've got Denmark, Finland, France, Germany. I'm going to remove Hong Kong, Ireland, Israel, Italy. I'm going to remove Japan, remove Malaysia. Those countries are just a little bit problematic as well. Netherlands is fine, New Zealand, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Singapore is also fine. South Korea, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, United Arab Emirates, United Kingdom. United States is not checked in because it's already the domestic audience, so it's already enabled, and that should be good enough. So go ahead and click on Done. That should be your default setting. Most suppliers won't have any problem, especially the ones that I will show you in this video, to ship to these places. Okay, and then next under customized on currency, we're going to go with use local currency so that all those countries will see their local currency when they enter our website. And of course, when we get paid, we're going to get paid in the currency that we choose, which in my case is US dollars. Okay, so this right now, this rule that we're making, I'm going to call it international market. And so once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and click on save right up here. Remember to always save after you change some settings around so that of course they will be saved. Okay, we can miss that without noticing sometimes. So that is markets and store currency. We can move on to number 3 under configuring store settings. And this one is payment gateways. This one will require you to work a bit, but you only need to do it once. All these settings, you only got to do it once. So payment gateways enables our customers to be able to pay on our website using more than one method. The default method that we have at the moment is PayPal. So if I go to the finance section here on Shopify, then here I have an option to activate Shopify payments. Another way to get there is to go to settings, and then you've got the payments right here. Okay, so as we can see, if I scroll down, we've got PayPal. Now PayPal takes a 2% transaction fee, and all we got to do here is continue to set up our PayPal account. So I'm going to do that, but I'm also going to set up Shopify payments. This is a really important one because Shopify payments will allow customers to have more credit card options, more payment options on our website. The transaction rates here are also going to be good depending on what, of course, company we go with. But I'm going to show you the whole list and recommend on how to find the best ones to choose for you. And like I said, we're also going to set up our PayPal account so that our customers will have all the payment options and won't be limited to only one like PayPal, which some may not like. Okay, so I'm going to set up the Shopify payments now. I'm going to go ahead and click on complete account setup. And as I can see by this message, and this is new by Shopify, if you're going to have a Shopify payments account, then you do not need the PayPal Express method because they're going to merge the PayPal transaction inside your Shopify payments. Now, this may not be enabled for all Shopify payment services because if you live in a place where Shopify payments is not supported, you're going to have to use a Shopify payment provider. And in that case, you're also going to have to set up your PayPal account because those will work differently from one another. They will not be merged. So let me show you what I mean by Shopify payment gateways. You may not have the option to see Shopify payments, and that is simply because it is not supported in your location. So if it isn't, what you need to do is click on Shopify payment providers. It's provided again in the cheat sheet, and then scroll down to where it says payment information by country or region. Now you have all of these third-party payment providers that can provide the service that you need, but you need to choose a payment provider that is in your local area. So search for the country where you're from. For example, if you're from Australia, okay, I found it. I'm going to click on it. Now it's showing me all of the Shopify payment providers that I can use in Australia. So for example, let's see Mint Payments. I'm going to search Google for that, find their website. Okay, here they are, Mint Payments. I can see that they're an online payment gateway. And you can also see here that they merge with Shopify. So you're going to contact them. You're going to understand what their rates are. Okay, you're going to contact sales in this case, fill out the form and ask them what are their transaction rates and how they can connect with you. They're most likely going to get you on the phone and do the connection process together. Okay, so it's going to be really easy. And that is how you're going to do it if you do not have the Shopify payments option. Okay, so in my case, I'm going to click right here on complete account setup. I'm going to click on next, and I'm going to register for Shopify payments right now. Okay, so first thing here, it wants some information about my business. So I'm going to click here on submit details. Okay, and in the next step, you're going to choose if you're an individual, a registered business, or a nonprofit. So in my case, it's a registered business. If you're an individual, go with that option. So select business type, click on next. And now fill in the rest of the needed information. If you went with individual, you're going to have to put your SSN. In this case, it's a business. I'm going to have to put the EIN. So just put the information that Shopify is asking for, address and all of that. And I'll see you in half a minute. And once you're done filling in the information, click on next. Now it's asking me for industry type. Of course, if you went with individual, you're going to have different things that it's going to ask for. Like it may ask for to verify the identity at this stage. So here for me, I'm going to choose the category in which I'm going to choose retail. Subcategory, let's see if we got something like gadgets. We got a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm just going to choose one that also fits my niche. I'm going to go with home electronics. Okay, description of products or services. Let's just do this one really quickly with ChatGPT. Write a description of products that I will sell. Okay, let's see what I'm going to take from here. At Gadget Worlds, we curate a galaxy of gadgets designed to make your life easier. This is enough. I'm just going to take the first paragraph and write that over here. Okay, looks good. Now we're going to click on next. And now it needs an account representative. So here we're going to fill in all the information. So in this case, it's going to be your information. So fill in your name, SSN, all of that. And once you're done, we're going to click on next. Okay, so last but not least, it's asking for a business document just to verify that the business actually exists. So either a 147C from the IRS or SS4 confirmation letter. Now, guys, don't let this scare you off. If you don't have a business, you went with the individual option anyway, which is the option that I usually go with. But if you have a business, you can register your business to your store. Both methods will work. And the store will work exactly the same way. Okay, so I'm just going to upload my business document here. Click on done. And if you went with the individual option, then there is no business docs for you to upload. They'll just ask for an identity verification. Okay, once everything looks good, we're going to go ahead and click on confirm. And now for the last part, we need to confirm the identity. So if you went with the individual account, this is all that you had to do. You didn't have to do the whole business verification, but now we need to do that as well. So this is going to be the account representative. So in this case, it's most likely going to be you. So add your residential address document and identity document. If you want to see what documents are required, you can simply hover over accepted documents and see here that they're looking for a bank statement, utility bill, driver's license, passport, or state issued card. So we need one of both. So I'm going to go ahead and upload mine, do it on your side. And while we're going to wait for the Shopify payments confirmation, we're going to continue to the rest of the settings. Notice how we're doing everything step by step. We start with product research because I don't want you to spend your Shopify trial while you're still doing product research. So we started with product research, then we created the Shopify store and started our 3-month trial. Now we're doing the settings and taking it step by step so that we don't waste any time, don't waste trial days, and wait for confirmation while we continue to the rest of the settings. So we're going to continue doing this step by step. I'm going to upload these documentations now, do it on your side, and we'll wait for the confirmation while we continue. That's the utility bill. And now I'm going to go with the identity document. And once done, we're going to hit confirm. Now everything is ready, so I'm going to click submit for verification. Okay, great. Now I'm redirected to complete account setup. Your information has been submitted for verification, so we can come back later and make sure that it was verified. You can also turn on two-step authentication to secure your account. But now that we're done setting up our Shopify payments, our payment gateways, whether you went with a third service provider or if you went directly with Shopify payments, while we wait for verification, we are going to continue.
One day later.
Okay, I came back a day later and there are some updates. So I left off after registering to the payment gateways so that I can offer my customers lots of ways to be able to purchase on my Shopify store. So not just through PayPal. So I already did that. I registered and now I already got the approval. So let me show you what the emails will look like once you're approved to Shopify payments. So I got this email, your Shopify balance account has been activated. So it says, hello, Liran, your Shopify balance account is up and running and the money from your store sales will now be deposited there. So now I can get paid by my customers using any payment option that they want that's supported by Shopify payments, which is of course all major credit cards. So this way I won't be missing out on any type of customer that wants to check out on my website. And this is why it's really important to get Shopify payments or any payment gateway up and running using either Shopify payments or Stripe or any of the third-party payment providers. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, and we can also see it here on Shopify. So if I just go to settings and payments, then we can see here that Shopify payments is active. So I've got no transaction fees, which is absolutely great. Usually third-party payment providers will take like 2%, all the way up to 4%, which is not very friendly. But if we do not have a choice, then that is what we have to live with. Then I can see that card rates here are starting from 2.9% plus a 30-cent transaction fee. I'm going to put all of that into my break-even settings when we get to pricing, which is later on. But for now, we just want to see that Shopify payments or any payment provider that we set up is up and running before we start to make sales, before we market our stores. Okay, so payments is up and running. So as a quick recap, the only things that we did so far after we got our Shopify store was to do some SEO adjustments. As we saw in the title and meta description, we changed our markets and store currency, or at least we updated it so that more people will be able to see their local currencies when shopping on our online store. We finished our payment gateway, so now we can get paid by our customers in whatever method that they would want to choose that's supported by our payment provider. Okay, so next up is store locations and shipping and delivery. You can find this under your Shopify dashboard settings, and here you've got both locations and shipping and delivery. So here's how this works. Locations specifies where you ship from and also has the AutoDS app under app location. So of course you're using AutoDS, it's already installed in your Shopify store. We're going to connect that to our specified shipping location under shipping and delivery. So again, to clarify, locations is where you ship from and shipping and delivery is where you ship to, and both of them will be connected. So first things first, under locations, I have my regular business address that was registered when I created my Shopify account. I'm not going to be shipping from that address, so I will change that. And then we're going to connect it under shipping and delivery and create our shipping profile. So under locations, we've already got the AutoDS app, which will be connected to our location. We still need to make a ships from location. So this is what we have under locations. And if I click on shipping and delivery, then here I can see that customers won't be able to check out yet because I still didn't get this done. So let's do that now. Under shipping, we've got general shipping rates. So I'm going to click on that. And then here I can see all the products that I have on my store, because these products are not connected to any shipping profile at the moment. So we need to fix that right now. And then here under fulfillment location, I've got the AutoDS app, which is good. This is my fulfillment location. We can add additional fulfillment locations like ships from US, ships from China, or just have that, of course, under our shipping policy pages, which we have. But if we're going to start selling products from different locations worldwide, like some of them are going to come from China, some of them will come from US, I can show you how to divide that But right now we are making a general shipping location. So under fulfillment location, AutoDS is fine. Then I'm going to click here where it says add shipping zone. So this means that all of the products that I currently have on my store are going to have the following fulfillment location and shipping zone settings set up into them. So I'm going to click here where it says add shipping zone, and I'm going to call this ships to worldwide. Okay, so this is what's going to happen here. Every time a customer opens one of the products that I had selected, they're going to be able to check out if they are from these following locations. So first I'm going to click on Asia. That has Israel, Singapore, South Korea, and United Arab Emirates. Next we have Europe, which has all of these locations: Austria, Belgium, Denmark, Finland, and so forth. We can ship to all these locations. And I'm also going to click on North America and Oceania. So at the moment, I'm going to ship worldwide to all locations around the world. That's because the suppliers that we work with are able to ship to all these places. We're shipping from China to worldwide in this example. Now, if you also want to do shipping from US and you only want to do specific locations, I'm going to show you how to do that as well. But for now, I went ahead and clicked on done. So right now, I just told Shopify, okay, all the products that I have on my store, I'm fulfilling them through AutoDS. So from AutoDS, and I can ship them to all of these countries. The last thing that I need to do is just create a shipping rate. So I understand where I'm going to ship to, but I don't know how much I'm going to charge for shipping. So I'm going to click here where it says add rate. I'm going to go with use flat rate, and I'm going to call this free shipping. And the price is going to be $0. So we are going to give out free shipping for all of our customers worldwide. And this is always a smart thing to do. Even if you're working with a supplier that does charge you for shipping, like let's say you bought the product, let's say you're sourcing it from AliExpress, and the product on AliExpress costs $8 plus another $2 shipping. So that means that the product actually costs you $10. And if you're working with AutoDS, AutoDS can round up the shipping price inside your source price. So it'll look at it as a $10 source price. And then you have your profit margin on top of that and the total selling price, which AutoDS automatically calculates. So what this means is even if you're paying for shipping, you are going to offer free shipping to your buyers, which will look much better because no one likes to see a shipping price. And that way you can maintain your desired profit margin through AutoDS while still offering free shipping even if you're paying for shipping. Okay, so we're going to give free shipping worldwide, and that's it. Here I've also got not shipping from this location. So these are all additional locations that you added to your Shopify locations that are not under this shipping profile. So that's a little bit confusing to you. Don't worry about it. I'll give a further explanation. But right now I just want to get this shipping profile done. So I'm going to go ahead and click on save. Okay, and so this shipping zone was now created. If I click now on shipping and delivery, I can see that this shipping profile is right here. So this is the general shipping rate, the general profile, and it works absolutely fine. So these are all the products that I am shipping from China to worldwide. Now keep in mind that the countries that I was able to see under shipping zones is what I specified under markets. So remember when we specified the markets configuration and settings, I selected which countries I'll be able to ship to. So the United States is of course my domestic target audience, and I've also got international market in which I specified which countries I can ship to. So those are the countries that I was able to see under locations. So if you want to ship to more places, you can go ahead and add them under markets, then you'll be able to choose them inside your shipping zones to where you can ship to. Now let's see an example of how to create a shipping zone. So as we can see under shipping and delivery, it says right here, create a custom profile to set different rates or restrict destinations for specific products. So let's say, for example, some of the products that I have on my store, I'm shipping them from and to the US, not from China to worldwide. So how do I set that for those specific products? So what we can do here is create a custom profile. And then here we're going to call it ships from and to USA. Then we're going to click on add products, and I'm going to select those specific products that I ship from the US to the US and not from China to worldwide. So you select those items and click on done. And now under fulfillment locations, it's enough to just have the AutoDS one. I'm going to remove my business address, which is automatically created as a fulfillment location by clicking on the edit button up here and click here where it says remove rates. This location will no longer ship the products in this profile. Then click on done. Next, we're going to create a shipping zone. So as I said, this one can only ship from and to the US. So I'm going to only choose the United States. So under zone name, I'm going to call it United States. And under shipping zones, I'm just going to search for it to get to it really quick. So United States, choose that, all 62 states inside, and click on done. Last but not least is to create the free shipping rate for that. So I'm going to click on add rate. I'm going to go with use flat rate. Shipping rate, you do have some extra options here. So it's not just shipping with no business days. When you're doing to the US, you can choose how many business days it takes to ship and deliver the product. So in this case, I'm going to go with standard 3 to 4 business days. Most of my products can actually arrive within 1 to 2, but I want to check it first. I want to test it. I want to make sure that the suppliers ship really quickly. So I'm going to start with 3 to 4. If you're totally not sure, you can even do 5 to 8. I'm going to do 3 to 4 because that is my sweet spot and see how it goes from there. And again, not charge for shipping. Click on done. So now we have our shipping rates. We are shipping to the United States, 3 to 4 business days. The fulfillment location is the AutoDS app, and I'm not shipping from my business address. Now that I'm done here, I'm going to click on save. And now I've got my additional shipping profile. In other words, every time I add products from my US supplier that can ship to the US, I'm going to make sure that those products belong in this shipping profile. This way, if someone from Zimbabwe opens up a product page from this shipping profile, they will not have the checkout option, and that's exactly what I want. Now, if you want to go the more organized route, under locations, you can create additional locations just to make it easier for you if you're not naming your menus correctly, like ships from and to the US, or if that's a little bit too confusing for you, you can be more organized and just go to locations, click on add location, and now you are creating your new ships from location. So you need to put your warehouse address. And because you're drop shipping, in most cases, you do not have a warehouse address unless you are shipping from your own inventory. So if you don't have a warehouse address, just go to the cheat sheet. And here under locations, you've got US warehouse addresses, China warehouse addresses, UK warehouse addresses, Australia and Europe warehouse addresses. So if you're shipping from any of these locations, you have addresses that you can use from here. The customer is not going to see these addresses. It's just so that you can enter something in Shopify so that you can get the location created and add it to your shipping zone. So let me show you really quickly how that works. I'm going to create a US warehouse address. So I'm going to click on that link in the cheat sheet. So let's choose this address right here in Los Angeles, California. So I'm going to go back to the location settings. Under the name, I'm going to call it USA warehouse. Click on done. Then I've got the address. I'm going to click on the pencil icon. The country is the United States. So let's copy the address. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the street name right here. Go back and paste it over here. Okay, I've already got it here. Shopify found the address, so it filled in everything for me automatically. I'm going to go ahead and click on save. Okay, now I've got this location. Okay, so it says USA warehouse. So I'm going to go ahead and save it over here. And if I go to locations, I can now see that I also have a USA warehouse. Okay, so that's cool. But now I need to make sure that I got the shipping options here. So I can click on shipping here or just click on shipping and delivery. It'll take me to the same spot. So under shipping and delivery, after I created the new location, I can go ahead and create a new custom profile. And here I can choose the US warehouse as the fulfillment location. Just keep in mind that we always have to have the AutoDS as a fulfillment location as well, because that makes sure that all our products are in stock and does all the price and stock monitoring and everything else. Our customers won't see that our products are in stock if we do not have the AutoDS as a fulfillment location as well. So here I don't need to create a custom profile for ships from and to the US because I already have it here. So I can just click it to edit this shipping profile. And now I'm going to scroll down to where it says fulfillment location. We can see that AutoDS is here, which is great. We always have to have that. But I also want to add the USA warehouse as well. So here where it says not shipping from these locations, I will click here where it says add rates. And I'm going to click on use rates from another location and choose the AutoDS, which is my default selection over here. Click on done. And you can see that it was added next to the AutoDS fulfillment location. So I'm going to go ahead and click on save. So the only thing that I did here was I created a USA location just so that I can be better organized to remember that this warehouse ships from the US and to the United States in the shipping zone. This is not a must, but only if you want to organize your information better. So if I click now on shipping and delivery, I've got my general shipping rates, which is ships from China, and I've also got ships from USA. Now, in this case, those items are coming from China, so I'm not going to keep them under USA, but I do want you to understand how you can create additional locations and additional shipping profiles and put them all together and make sure that everything works seamlessly and smoothly. So I'm just going to click on that shipping profile really quick and remove those products, bring them back to the China shipping location. So I'm going to save that, go back to shipping and delivery, click on general shipping rates. This is my China one. And again, if you want to organize it better, you're going to call this ships from China. So you can remove the general profile, create a new one, and call it ships from China. And so now that I removed the products from ships from into the USA, it went automatically into the general shipping rates, which has this condition, all products that are not in other profiles. So again, if you want to organize things better, you can remove general shipping rates, create a custom profile called ships from China to worldwide, and do the same settings as I did here under general shipping rates. This is just again to organize things better so that when you come to your shipping and delivery and you have a whole bunch of options, you name them well, you configure them well so you know what's going on. But in my case, I know that general shipping rates is everything that I ship from China to worldwide. So that in a nutshell is how to set up your locations and shipping and delivery. After you do this, you'll notice that all your products are now in stock and your target audience will now be able to add the products to their cart and check out. That sums up how to set up locations and shipping and delivery. You also have the explanation, of course, in the cheat sheet, how to set up each and everything. And of course, if you have any questions at any time, let me know below the video because I personally go through each and every one of your questions and answer them. Okay, now that we're done with locations and shipping and delivery, we can move over to the next section, which is store policies. And there's not much more to go. Once we're done with store policies, we're going to add them to our navigation menu, and then we are done with our store settings. We're going to import the products from product research. We're going to learn how to market them. We're going to start to make sales. There's one thing that I haven't showed you yet though, because a day has passed and my domain is already ready. So if I open a new tab, if you remember, my domain is called gadgetworlds.store. So if I go to my store, I'm going to click on settings and domain here on the left side. This was still in the setup stage a day ago. I didn't have to touch anything. I just told you that in a day I'm going to come back. Same thing for you. You're going to have your domain ready, up and running. And as you can see right here, everything is ready. So if I click on gadgetworlds.store, you can see that it's confirmed. DNS records are updated worldwide. This is how we now access the store. So if I just go to gadgetworlds.store, click it right here, boom, we've got our free domain ready, up and running. So the domain is ready, the store is ready. We just have a few more small things to set, and the hard part of the settings is already behind us. The payment gateways and everything around locations and shipping and delivery, this is the most difficult part of setting up our store. Everything from here is going to be a breeze. So let's finish up and get to the good stuff. So now we're going to take care of our store policies. The location for this one is under settings, policies. So real easy, we're going to go to our Shopify dashboard, click on settings, then we'll click on policies here on the left side. In my case, it's all the way down here at the bottom. So here we have our store policies. Now, this allows customers to get information that they need, like when do we ship, how fast do we deliver, what our privacy policy is, terms and conditions, what is the return and refund policy, how to contact us, and so forth. So these are pages that we have to have on our website, and it's all going to get done pretty easily because we already have it pre-generated right here. We'll just need to make some small changes. That, of course, is tailored to our business's information. So what I'm going to do here is first I'm going to set the return and refund policy. As you see here, it says no policy set. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And then here I can click on insert template. So this already has this pre-made template that Shopify creates for us. So here you can make whatever changes are relevant. Like we have a 30-day return policy, you can make it 60 days or whatever your suppliers give you. Most are going to give anywhere between 14 to 30 days. So I'm going to leave it on 30 days. And of course, we can always change it when needed. Okay, so to be eligible for a return, what you got to do to start a return, you can contact us. So update your email there. You can always contact us for any return questions. So here you can leave your email or if you want your phone number. Okay, so just go over all the information here and make sure that it's correct. You can always come back here later and change it. And as you see over here, it says insert return address. So what it says here is to start a return, you can contact us, but please note that returns will be need to send to the following address. So here, in our cases, we're going to send a return label to our customers if, of course, we are eligible for one. So because of that, we're going to change the sentence right here. So please note that returns will be provided with a return label. In this case, you can change the sentence, you can change the wording around. But what I want the customer to understand here is that there is no specific return address. We're going to work with multiple suppliers. We're going to ship from multiple warehouses, and we're going to have different return addresses. So that is why we're going to send a return label if, of course, they're eligible for a return. So I'm going to leave it like this and click on publish when you're done making changes. Next is a privacy policy. So I'm going to open it really quick. And you can see that here it says use automated policy, keep policy content in sync with store settings and latest Shopify templates. So I have this toggled on. And at this point, there are no changes that I need to make here. If you want, of course, you can go over it, but this is all the legal stuff that you have to have anyway. So I'm going to leave that as is. Move on to terms of service. Here we are going to need to insert the template. And again, make whatever changes you need to make that, of course, are relevant to your business. So like here, for example, it says link. So I know that I have to have some kind of link here. So by visiting, interacting, or using our services, you agree to be bound by these terms of service and our privacy policy, and then you're going to link to it over here. So I don't have the link to the privacy policy yet, but I'm going to need to come back here and, of course, insert the link right here. Okay, so do the same thing for the terms and service, see what you need to fill in and where. And then we also have one for the shipping policy. Now, the thing is, there is no template for the shipping policy. So for that, you can use a shipping template policy that I pre-generated for you. So here back again at our Shopify cheat sheet under the policy section, you can see AutoDS pre-made policies and Shopify pre-made policies. So you can use the policies that were pre-generated here. So in this case, many of them already have templates in Shopify, so I won't really need to use this unless, of course, I want to. But we do have the shipping policy, which we do not have a template for. So I just clicked on the link in the cheat sheet, and here you have your shipping policy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy all of this, head back to my Shopify shipping policy, click on it, and paste the information over here. So thank you for visiting and shopping at, and in this case, it's Gadget worlds.store. Okay, the following are the terms and conditions for the shipping policy. So here we have shipping rates and delivery estimates. So here it's US 2 to 6 business days. This is if you ship from and to the US. So of course you can change all this information, like you can do worldwide. So if it's to the US, it's 2 to 6 business days if you're doing US to US. And if you're doing China to worldwide or US to worldwide, then here it's going to be 14 to 21 business days. Okay, and just make the changes accordingly. Okay, so take care of your shipping policy, put all the relevant information inside. And again, if you're not sure exactly what is your shipping policies and what is your return policies because you haven't connected with suppliers yet, which is going to be the next step in this video, don't worry about it. Just remember to come back and make the changes in your policies. Okay, so we've got the shipping policy, and last but not least is contact information. How can they contact you? How can they get to know you and send you messages? So we do have a contact us page, but we do want to have a policy for that. So here I'm going to click on insert template. Okay, so trade name. I don't know why Shopify calls it trade, but that's what they call it. So it's Gadget Worlds. Okay, phone number, email, physical address, and if you have a VAT number and trade number. In my case, I'm going to leave that off and click on publish. Okay, so now all these pages are published, and there are additional pages that we can make. If we refer back to the cheat sheet, we can see right here that the required policies and also pages to have is order tracking, blog, contact us, shipping policy, even our story. You can create a page like that, return policy, shipping policy, privacy policy, and all of that. So you do not have to have an R story page. You can do that later on, and you can get help from ChatGPT to help you generate a nice little R story page. But let's do only what's really important, which is everything that we've done so far. So we have order tracking, blog, contact us, and all the rest. Our policies are pretty much set up and ready. Order tracking is a page created by Build Your Store. So now I'm going to show you how we can link all the pages that we just created onto our store. Okay, so the next section is called navigation menu. This is where we're going to add the links to the pages and policies that we just created. So this way, when somebody enters our website, in this case, gadgetworlds.store, they'll be able to see the link up here in the navigation menu. So right now you said we have catalog, we have track order, which was already added, contact us. This is the header menu. We also have the footer menu, and this is where we're going to put all the boring pages like terms and conditions and things like that. So let's do that right now really quick. We're going to head over to Shopify, and here we're going to click on content. So don't go to the settings by accident. You're not going to find it there. Click on content. Then you've got menus. So this is the actual navigation menu, and this is split into two, the top and the bottom. So the main menu and the footer menu. Let's start with the main menu where we already see that we have home, catalog, track order, and contact. So I'm going to click on that, and I want to make a couple of changes. First of all, home is fine. We can leave that, but catalog, I'm going to change that. So I clicked on the pencil icon just to change the text in the URL to products. Okay, you don't have to do this, but I just like products more than catalog. So I saved that. Track order and contact. So now if I refresh the website really quick, we'll see the change that I just made. So catalog, if I refresh, will now be products. Okay, so now let's add the rest of the pages. So we've got this button right here where it says add menu item. But you know what? Before that, contact will be contact us. Okay, great. So now I can click on add menu item, and the label is the text in the link, like the ones that I just changed. But first I'm going to click on the link box over here so I can see all the pages that I can link to. So I'm going to hover over pages, and here I can see all the policies that were created, that were generated. So we've got about us, FAQ, return policy, shipping policy, terms and conditions, track your order, and that's it. So I'm going to add about us, and the rest I'm going to put it on the bottom. So let's add the about us over here. So you can see that the label, the text and link is going to be about us, and the link will be the about us page. So I'm going to save that. Of course, I need to generate an about us page, right? So we're going to do that real quick with ChatGPT, but I just want to show you how the navigation menu is done. So if I refresh right now, we've got about us right here. I think I'm going to have first about us, or I'm going to change it to who we are, and then contact us. Okay, so let's do it like that. So in order to change the order, I'm going to take this one and just click and drag it above this one. And I'm going to change the name to who we are. Okay, approve that, save it. And if we now refresh the page, we can see who we are and then contact us. So who we are, if I click on it now, I have this really brief information, but I want to make it a little bit more friendly. So of course, we've got our good friend ChatGPT, free version, no need to pay for it. And I'm just going to send a link to our store. And I'm going to use this prompt. I want to create an About Us section on my e-commerce store. Help me write the About Us section to make it sound interesting and make shoppers want to buy. Okay, so now we're going to get it. Welcome to Gadget Worlds, where innovation meets everyday life. We're more than just an online store. We're a team of tech enthusiasts on a mission to bring you the coolest and most useful gadgets. Why shop with us? Because we test what we sell. Fast shipping, easy returns, our promise to you. Discover awesome tech you'll actually use. Join thousands of happy customers who've already leveled up their lives with Gadget Worlds. So I'm going to take this. Of course, you can review it. You can make some changes, but I want to keep going so that I can show you how to do the rest of the store management and start making sales. So what I'm going to do now is I copied all the text from ChatGPT, and now I want to edit that specific page, the About Us or who we are. So what we're going to do now is click on online store here on the left side, and then under themes, we've got pages. So I'm going to enter that. And here we've got all the pages that we just saw. And here we are going to open the About Us page. And here I'm simply going to paste what I copied from ChatGPT. Of course, you can make whatever changes you want and click on save. Okay, so I just filled in the About Us page. And now, of course, if I refresh the About Us on my website, it's going to look much better. So let's do a quick refresh and check it out now. Okay, so already looks much better. And there is one more page that I noticed that we missed. Shopify adds new pages now and then, so let's also add that one. So I'm going to head back to content, menus, and now let's set up the footer menu. Okay, so here we've only got search and your privacy choices. And by the way, this was the page that is relatively new. It wasn't here last year. So let's see what we've got in there and what we need to edit. But first, let's add the rest of the menu items. So I'm going to click here on add menu item. Remember that this is the footer menu. So this is everything that we're going to see at the bottom. So let's take it from the top. So pages and FAQ. We also need to edit that page because I haven't seen what was done there. Next, link, pages, return policy, another page, pages, shipping policy. You can also put shipping policy on top because this is something that customers always want to know about, but you're going to have it in the product pages as well. I always like to add it there. I want to make sure that the customers won't leave my website with any questions, because that could mean that they also probably will not buy because there's something that they wanted to know and we couldn't get their answer for them. And most of them will not want to reach out to us and wait for an answer. These are impulse purchases. So we want to make sure that we answer as many things in the best way possible so that they will not leave our website because they didn't know something that they wanted to know. So we're going to take care of that in the FAQ section as well. Okay, let's see if there's any other pages that we missed. The last one was terms and conditions. Your privacy choices is already there. Okay, so we're good. We don't need this last one. Okay, so I'm going to save this. And now if I refresh our store, we will see the navigation menu here at the bottom, where at this point we only have search. So I'm going to refresh. And here we've got search, FAQ, return policy, shipping policy, and terms and conditions. One thing that I do not see is that extra page that they added called your privacy choices. Let's see exactly what we have on that page. So I'm going to go back to online store, click on pages, and see what is this your privacy choices. So I'm going to enter that one. And this page is automated to stay in sync with latest privacy recommendations. So we do not want to make any edits here. And I do see that it is visible, so it should be shown. But for some reason, it is not showing here at the navigation menu. So I'm going to figure out why that is happening. But for now, we're still good to go. We have all the important pages that we want to have. Now, I haven't showed you this, but Contact Us was created for you. It was generated automatically. It's already linked inside your navigation menu. And here, if a customer leaves some information while they're reaching out to you, you're going to get that to your email. Okay, so that is the navigation menu, and ours is ready with the header and the footer. Another page that you haven't seen is track order. Again, this was added by Build Your Store and just makes it really easy for your customer to be able to track their packages after they order something from your store. So they order something, you upload tracking information once you get it from your supplier, or it's done automatically if you have order automation set up, which I will show you later on in this video. And once you get tracking information and you update it, the customer can take the tracking information, paste it right here, and see what is the delivery progress. So that will save you a lot of customer messages, wondering where are their packages, especially if you're using suppliers that take a long time to ship. So now that the navigation menu is set up, we are pretty much done with all the important settings of our Shopify store. Now, there are some additional pages that we can add, including categories. So instead of clicking on products and seeing all of our products list, the customer will be able, or the online shopper will be able to click on categories and see all of our store's categories, choose the category, and then jump into the subcategory with all of the products there. That's another thing that I'm going to add once we add more products and categories to the store. So I'm going to leave that for later. Same thing for a blog. I'll add it once we actually create the blog when we get to organic marketing. And everything else is pretty much good and set up. Now, this setting is optional. It's called customer accounts. And the reason that I want to have it is because we already have our own domain. And when a shopper creates an account on our website, on our store, especially if they want to check out and purchase something, they don't have to. We do have it as an optional setting if they want to create a customer account. It's also in our settings. But if they do create an account, I don't want Shopify to use their default URL, which they will if we do not change this setting. So what this means is when a customer creates an account on our website, it's going to show up as yoururl.com/customer account, whatever, instead of myshopify.com/customer account number. We don't want the customers to see the Shopify URL. So in order to change this, again, it's optional, but I totally recommend doing it, especially since we have our own domain. So the location here is under settings/customer accounts. So again, on our Shopify dashboard, settings, and we're going to scroll to customer accounts. Okay, and then here we are going to scroll down to where it says URL. And as you can see, I changed mine, but if you didn't change yours yet, you're going to have this manage button over here or edit, and you're going to be able to choose your URL right here instead of Shopify's URL. Once you do that, go ahead and save it, and that's all there is to it. So now we can see that if a customer creates an account, it's going to go under account.gadgetworlds.store in this case, which is much better than Shopify's default URL. So this is a nice little setting to also configure before we finish setting up all of our settings. So now that we're finally done setting up all our store settings, we can move on to the next part, which is finding the best dropshipping suppliers and then importing the products that we found from product research and of course all future products from our suppliers to our dropshipping stores, optimize the product pages, start to market, and make ourselves in profit.